Hi family, how are you? I hope y'all are doing fantastic. I am well. I lit an intention candle for peace, inner peace for the collective. And I have been getting a lot of questions about what I know about our history, and the aliens and all that stuff. So, honestly, it was wiped out of my memory, as things are regularly, basically. But when I got all these questions, I started inquiring, and yeah, I remember it all. So I'm going to give you the history of this is what I uncovered last year. It started with the universe gave me a website that my phone's been wiped out. So I did email myself this information, but my email's hacked and I don't know where it is. But I do remember everything that I found relevant. So I'm going to just tell you everything I remember. And maybe I'll find this website again. But regardless, it wasn't in English anyway. I had to get it translated. It was a lot. So I'm going to tell you everything I remember, which is quite a bit. So I saw on this website a picture of our family tree. We're called like the Rory clan or something like that. Anyways, at the top of our family tree is a mother and father. The mother, the names aren't really important, but I call her Sambari. And the father, I don't know. It was like he was erased from our family tree. I don't know what happened there, but he's not there anymore. Our mother was like a water being, and our father a fire being. And they created other beings. They created the universe, basically, and other beings that helped to create planets and beings and everything else. Well, the fire side, the water side were the creator beings. They were meant to create, create entities, create people, create planets, all that stuff. And the fire side of the family tree were created to protect, and this is all in love, by the way. It was all created in love. And the fire side was created to come up against anything coming against love, coming against our universe. It was our defense system. Is our defense system, one of them. On the fire side of the tree, we have these fire beings that they said you can see them like at sunrise and sunset. They literally are the color of fire. And it's you see them in the same way you would see fairies and nature spirits. They're basically a type of nature spirit, is what I understand. But I also think that they're the jinns. They remind me of the jinns. These beings can be very terrifying if they are confronted with fear, because fear is an opposition to love. So if you have fear in you, these beings will come against you. They'll terrify you. If you don't have fear, they work for you. They're on the same team. Now, also on the fire side are these spider beings I've been telling you about, the Hebrons, that have been part of this infiltration of our Garden of Eden, so to speak. The Hebrons are not, as far as I know, they're not all involved, but a certain portion of them have fractured off from love, and they're doing some crazy stuff. Now, the Hebrons are known for their digging abilities. they dig underground. I believe that they are the ones responsible for all of the underground palaces, basically, cities that are built here on Earth. That's the Hebron's work. That is not humans. Okay. On the other side of the family tree is where we have our, what you would call angels. The creator gods that are creating worlds, planets, beings, etc. Now, the people responsible for creating the humans are the Lyrans, the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, and the Hebrons. I might be missing one. But regardless, they were at the bottom of the family tree. They're right above the humans. And according to this family tree, they're responsible for creating the humans. Now, this is where I started channeling a lot of stuff from this information. And one of the things I came to understand was the Hebrons were not supposed to make humans because they didn't have the genetic makeup for it. They're arachnids. They're not supposed to be making humans. But for some reason, some of them did want to get in on the action here. And yeah, it was because humans, they could take from. They could create a slave camp and exploit them. So anyways, here's what happened. So everything in the world, I guess, was going according to plan. It was a place for souls to come and grow. And human beings' lifespan, from what I understand, according to this family tree I saw, is supposed to be about 25,000 years. And the creator gods that created the Lyrans and whatnot, I don't know about the Lyrans and their lifespan, but the creator gods, their lifespan is like hundreds of thousands of years. Possibly. But, or like they're immortal. Thank you. They're immortal. The creator of Sambari, of our universe, she's like billions of years old. Monteru is like 500,000 or 500 million years old. Sorry. And all of us are scattered in between, from Sambari's creations down to the hybrids that were created to help on this, what are we calling it? Pushing our front forward. When they speak in military terms, I don't get it as much, but sorry. So anyways, what happened was, I'll get back to Sambari and Monteru. They are what you all would probably call twin flames. But twin flames aren't exactly, from what I've been explained, I guess I'll tell this story first, aren't exactly the way it is perceived to be, like one soul split into two beings like that. It's what it is it's one being that creates their counterpart, uses part of their genetics, puts part of themselves in them, and then also puts other things in them that they think would help to balance them out. So that is what my understanding of twin flame is. Sambari and her original counterpart did not work out. This fire dude, our dad, basically, did not work out. She created Jesus or Monteru to be her counterpart. So he's like a part of her. And, you know, she's a part, well, anyways. So that's how that twin flame thing goes. It has to do with the original counterparts going bad. Like, they were on the fire side and they just went all wrong. And so it literally was like a divorce in the heavens that like literally translated down to earth, because everything relates into our everyday lives in our twin flame, like debacle, I'll call it. Because there was the false one, and then there was your real one, which you've been being kept apart from anyway. So you might not even know who they are anyway. Regardless. So that's my take on the twin flame. And we're all kind of like cycling through those motions, like Isis and Osiris, and what is that, the something of Notre Dame, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That story is like a twin flame story. Joan of Arc even has a twin flame story, in my opinion. Oh, and that's another thing I was going to tell you about. All of these different creator gods that created the Lyrans and the Pleiadians and everything, that created the humans, they had pictures of a lot of them. There's millions of us. I think there's like 3 million of us, something like that. And they had pictures of a lot of them. And they're all different races. And one of them, honestly, looked just like me. Like, it was an exact picture of me. And that was part of the reason that that whole website, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, that was the first thing I saw. I was like, that's me. What is this? Like, what is this? And obviously the rest of it completely corroborated a lot of the stuff that I had already been hitting on and whatnot. So anyways, yeah, there's all different races, and I believe that when you incarnate in a human body, you take on genetic traits of that, you know, the physical genetics of that human, and then you also have your spiritual genetic traits of your creator God being. Ants. That's what I'm called. I'm an ant. I don't remember all the names. Anyways, so what happened, I guess, back in back when the atomic bomb was detonated, our Garden of Eden was supposed to be a learning ground, and there was karma and all that. Those lessons were in place, but it wasn't infested until the atomic bomb went off, and it created a tear. And what I'm understanding is some kind of electromagnetic shield that went around our Garden of Eden. What happened when that tear came in is that all of the entities outside of our Garden of Eden were able to come in, whereas before they were completely blocked out. And what happened when they came in, we got some of the Hebrons that snuck in there, and the fallen angels. And that is also when we came in. We basically came in after them because we saw they were going in. And anyways, so We zoom in when there's this big hole tear in the protective layer. Now, as a lot of you know, we are multidimensional beings. So when we came in, we came in, and from my understanding, we went 6,000 years into the future, and we went 6,000 years into the past, into many incarnations. We all did this. And so did the fallen angels. The Hebrons, I don't think that they're capable of that. I think they came in at that time. And what they were involved in was they were working with the fallen angels. They created the holographic clones of like the reptilian race, that weirdness, to infiltrate our daily lives. And they also created a race of beings that they somehow had genetically altered in a way that they could puppet them easily. And they did this in the concentration camps. They killed a lot of Jews, but they also bred a lot of blue-eyed Jews. And why did they do this? All I could figure was there's some kind of prophecy of a blue-eyed Jew saving the world at some point, bringing the shift, the big whatever. This must be prophesized somewhere. And like I've told you guys before, there's prophecies about us that we're not privy to, obviously. So anyways, what they wanted to do was breed this race of people, and that they could easily control. And like I said, it has to do with their genetics. Somehow it's like a chip that's placed in your DNA. Now, this wasn't obviously like all of the Jews, but I can trace it back to the Khazars that terrorized through Europe. Anyways, I'm not sure. I told you I think that the Hebrons are on everybody's shoulder. But I guess I don't know that for sure. I know that there's certain genetics that they have definitely infiltrated, and mine are definitely one. I deal with them on a regular. I know who they are. I know what they're doing. And it does not affect me the way they used to be able to, by any means. Like, I'm not sure it's affecting me at all anymore. I think that's why they're freaking out a little bit. They don't have control over me. And probably they don't have control over a lot of you anymore like they used to. And when I say control, they may not have been able to make you do bad things, but they could make you feel certain ways. It could control your emotions. And unless you're good at dealing with those emotions, they could destroy you, you know? Anyway. I think it's possible that genetics has, pretty much filtered down into most populations, if not all, in one way or another. As you know, like, you just having sexual relations with somebody, you swap genetics, you swap DNA. So what else? I don't know. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting at. That's kind of what I got out of that site. I will update you as I remember more, if I do remember more. But that seems like the gist of it. There's 7 of them. And by the way, they're not heterosexual, which is why they're injecting, okay, here's some other stuff I learned. Which is why they're injecting this homosexual agenda on everything. Because originally, the gods and goddesses are, there's a male and female counterpart. You know, there's a divine feminine and a divine masculine that come together. So what they did was, since they were, I don't know, they somehow got control of the recycling of souls, like how people reincarnate, and they were able to, especially with the chosen, they were messing with the chosen especially, I feel like, switch their soul identity. So a female soul would be born into a male body, and in the opposite. And so this was to create a lot of confusion, and honestly to just piss Sambari and Monroe off, because they're about like the nuclear unit. And it's not that they are against anything that has to do with love. It's not that. They don't have a problem with anything anybody does in regards to love. However, they're a little upset with the people who messed with the game, because that's not how the Garden of Eden was supposed to be. That's not how our souls are. And as we transition and we shift, I'm being told everybody is going to be getting new bodies in their correct bodies, whatever body you want to be in. But yeah, this was definitely a cruel joke played by the counterforce to confuse the hell out of people. And yeah, and I don't even want to get into that. What's going on with the children right now? I love you, kids. It's almost over. All right, so I pulled a few cards earlier, and I'm going to come back and do a reading for you, but I just want to leave this one here. I love y'all. The suns look crazy. I love y'all. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.